Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about my 6 trades that I took last week and that made me about 14% profit for the week. Okay, so I'm going to jump the first trade, which I made a video. I'm going to leave the card right on the top right of the screen, and this is a whole video about this single trade right here. Okay, so if you guys want to watch the first trade, go watch the video. The explanation is right on, is made a whole video about that. All right, so the second trade was on AUD USD, which is the Australian dollar versus the US dollars, and this was a complicated trade. Okay, this is basically a one-to-one trade. I decided to close a one-to-one because of my risk. Right here was a huge risk, and if I put on the 4 hour time frame, you guys are gonna see that this trade was not making that much sense. But I still decided to leave with no stop loss at first, and I almost decided to quit, and that's when prices started to reversing, and then I decided to put the stop loss right above here, above these highs, and then decided to leave the trade on a one-to-one because I didn't want any more stress. When I make the wrong entry, there's not enough confirmations, but I still decide to go against my emotions, and something like this happens, I decide to, whenever we're in profit, to just close out the trade. And I don't want to be stressing over if price just reverses like it did right here. Like we went in profit, if it just reversed like this and then ends up taking me out, that's too much headache for me. I'd rather take profits right here once I'm okay with it, or even at break even. But I decided to play around with this a little bit, and we didn't ended up going a little bit lower than that, and I'm totally fine with it. I did not basically want to stress about the trade too much. I could have entered for a long right here, but again, it was already Thursday when this happened, and I was already in profit for the week. So in case we had a drop all the way from this level over here to here, I was not gonna be too happy holding a position with price dropping like that. So I just decided to sit back and let the market do its thing. Now again, this is I've said it multiple times on multiple videos. These are the best areas for you to enter for longs. Now this is what I did multiple times, and ended up with multiple green days because of this being multiple areas of support. Okay, so this is it for AUD USD. Second trade, I think the third trade was also on US 30. So this is my third trade right here. I forgot which one this is, but this is the third trade. This is according to the structure of the market. This was a lower high from this previous high, again. So we were not trading below the moving average, but we ended up trading after I took the profits under the moving average right here. But again, simple trade. I have right here a level of resistance. That's one confirmation. Second confirmation is the lower high time frame from this high to this high to this high now. And then we also have, I can easily put a trend line right over here from here to here basically. That's already 3 confirmations. And then you have multiple candles rejecting from this same area of resistance. So that's about 3 to 4 confirmations for a trade. And the fifth confirmation, and the most important, is my risk to reward was perfect for here as well. Now my initial goal was to come all the way down. That's about more than 300 points and close to 1 to 6 risk to reward. But I still was looking at the chart from another perspective, which we have a couple of reverses all the way from here around the 44 300 area. So that's where I decided to basically take my profits a little bit before the trade, this candle closed. We were right around this low over here, and then I took profits of about 163 points, and that is my third trade. Okay, that is about 4 to 5 confirmations in one trade, one setup. That is more than perfect. Okay, so let me look for trade 4. Okay, now this was on the 16th, so I skipped a couple. Okay, so now this is still 15, 16. This was the same day. So trade 5, I'll add for basically this one as well, because I remember these two setups. Okay, so this is the 4th trade of the week. Now again, this is still the Tuesday, so Tuesday is still the 4th trade. So let's go over it. So we have support in green and then resistance on blue right here. I started to draw these lines to make sure that I'm going according to market structure. So I have this level of support. This was, I entered Tuesday. Yeah, this was like an overnight setup. And a couple confirmations that I have here is support, basically price respecting this area right over here, which is about 33, 26, 27. So we have an area, an active area of support right here. Let me switch this to probably here, this area of support. And then I was just looking to do a counter trend trade, which is something like this once we are going bearish. So once we're going bearish on the market, creating lower lows and lower highs, I decided to enter right at the low of the trend, and then come all the way up into the high, the previous low. So creating a new high on the previous low of the market, and then from here shorting it all the way down to make a new low, which didn't happen, but I was totally fine with it. All right, so this is the buy entry. Now I don't have that many confirmations other than support, trend. Basically, we're at the lowest point of the trend, so it's a good area for you to buy. And then another explanation I'll do is my take profit was right at the previous low point, which is right over here. So this makes total sense for you to enter, for you to put your take profit at the previous low right there. Okay, so I don't remember any other confirmations other than those two, but let's see the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, I have basically this candlestick pattern confirmation, which I have one red, another red candle, and then the blue one that closes above the previous candle. This is also a good indicator that we are going bullish. Okay, so that is trade number 4, and that's about a total of 2 to 3 confirmations for that trade alone, and still a 1 to 2, a little bit less than 1 to 2, literally, yeah, 1.98 to risk to reward. Good trade. Let's move on to trade number 5. This is when I thought we were going to go long on gold and then short US 30. Okay, so there are a couple confirmations, but I still the most important aspect of these two losses was the risk management. Okay, so this is about 5 points. I wasn't looking to risk that much because I knew that something was up, and I knew that I think we had news that day, that I knew that we were either going to shoot very high or go very low. I decided to go in the same direction as the trend that I was going. So we have, this trend that I just talked about, made this low, another high, and then we pulled back to the same area on the left of the support, and then we just made a new high right over here. So my thought process was we're going to come down to the previous high over here and then create a level of support to then shoot higher and then basically change the direction of the trend. Of course, that didn't happen. I ended up taking a loss, but again, my risk management was very good. I have a couple confirmations if we were looking for a buy over here. So we were trading like in the middle of the moving average, and then right here we switched to trading below the moving average, which means that we are going bearish from that moment on. But when I decided to enter the trade, I have this trade right here like closing on the level of the moving average, and then this basically bullish doji. I thought we were going to make a new high over here to then make a new higher high. Didn't end up happening, but price literally shot down. And yeah, so this is my fifth trade. Now, fifth trade for the same day was US 30. I decided basically the same thought process. Looked at the trend, so we're going bearish. I have this low over here, this lower high, lower low. We came back basically to this level that looks like, to me, what I noticed was a stronger level of support rather than resistance. So if this level of 44, like 44 150, stronger level of support, means that price is gonna hit that multiple times at a support level, which means you probably have a higher probability of going long rather than going short. So I did the complete opposite. I tried to go short, and then again this took me out. This was, I think, the worst loss of the week. It's about 92 points, but my basically take profit was going to be a 1 to 3 right over here. And yeah, not that many, just worst trade of the week, not that the best trade. So let's look at trade number 6. I saw that we had broken this level of support right here, which we had the direction shift, which I thought we had the direction shift, but price just came and made a new low. So in my head, I'm thinking about, if we made a new low, this means that we're probably collecting some orders and we're gonna go higher. So whenever price does something like this, we go even higher after that. So I decided to, a little bit late, but I still decided to enter a trade and calculated how my risk to reward would have been, and it was in my favor. This was already at the end of the week, so I had basically a cushion on my account to risk, and that's when I risk. And this was the best trade of the week. Trade number 6, this was about 2.4 risk to reward. Now, risk to reward wise wasn't perfect because of the size of my stop loss. If I had probably the 15-minute time frame, if I had just trailed my trade, probably would have had a better risk to reward, but this is still a pretty good trade. Now, we made this high over here, these two highs over here, and then we pull back to make a new higher low from this low over here, and then reversed and ended up coming and making a new high. This is when I decided to close. This was, again, like I said, the last trade of the week and the best trade of the week also. This is about 23.8 points, just large trade. And I wasn't, because of my risk, I wasn't looking to do a high lot size on this. So my lot size was smaller because of my risk was bigger. Okay, does that make sense? I think so. Made sense to me. And these were all my right now, after the US 30 trade, 7 trades that made me about 14% profit for the week. Okay, so I hope you guys liked it. This is, I'll probably record a breakdown right now for this upcoming week. And if you guys like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and I'll leave a card right here for my first trade of the week that I already recorded the video. All right? Have a good one, guys.